Hi, my name is Nicole, and this is the CK Diary Podcast. On this podcast, I talk about all things crocheting and knitting. I started crocheting in August of 2023 and knitting in December of 2023. And I really just talk about all of my progress that I'm making, the things that I'm learning, and the new things that I'm doing. So today I'm going to start off with my finished objects. I only have one finished object. It is my husband's socks. I used the vanilla sock pattern on Magic Loop by Crazy Sock Lady. I don't remember what my yarn was called, but it is, I believe it's a 4-ply sock weight yarn. Let's see. And then this isn't a finished object, but I did finish I finished a couple of things for my traveling blankets. So I've talked about the traveling blanket before. I have 2 boys and we do a lot of road trips. And so for every new place that we go, I buy a yarn from the area that we are traveling to. Most of it isn't dyed there or specialty for that yarn store because most of the yarn stores that I've been to haven't had that. But when they do, I plan to purchase things that were like locally made there, made exclusively for that store. I started this blanket with worsted weight yarn. I think I'm going to try a few. It's a couple of them are heavy worsted weights. Some of them are light worsted weights. I have a couple of heavy DK weight yarns, to put into it. I'm going to try to match gauge with just going up a needle size. So we will see how that goes. But anyway, I thought I would show you the squares that I finished for this week. I finished 1 green square and did I finish 2 of the tan squares? I can't remember. I only brought 4 squares to show you. So those are the 2 that I finished this week. And then these are 2 others that I have finished for the blanket. I've got all of the greens, all of the blues, and all of the whites finished for all of the blankets. I'm making 1 for me and my husband, and then 1 for each of my sons. And these are the colors I have so far. And I will show you the other colors I have for them. Let me go ahead and pull those out really quick. So these are some of the other colors I have for it from trips that we've taken. Whoops, I dropped one of them. I'll show that to you guys another time. One of the color that I just dropped, it's basically all of these colors in 1 skein of yarn. And I've got all of the information for that linked on my Ravelry page if you're interested to know like my needle size, what colors I've used, things like that. These are 4 yarns that I'm planning on using for it. So these 2 were special colorways for the stores that I went to. So this was from Maggie Valley Yarn Shop. This is from Hand Dyed Diva. This was I'm trying to remember what she said about this. I don't know if this was specially dyed for the store. Can't remember. But she is a hand dyer. And this color is called Soulmate. It is a DK weight. This one was a store that we stopped at on our way home from Gatlinburg a couple of weeks ago. It's in Candler, North Carolina. It's called Friends and Fiberworks. And the owners of this store dyed this colorway. It's called Shake Your Teal Feather, and it is in their 100% sexy worsted is what they call it. It is 100% superwash merino, which is my favorite yarn to work in for these blankets. Okay, this one I also got while we were in Tennessee. This was from a store in Knoxville called Loopville, but it's not special for their store. It is Queensland, merino, silk, and cashmere tweed. Very pretty. And then this one I also got to use, again, not special for their store. This was from Loopville. This is blue stock worsted, or blue sky wool stock worsted. Apparently that is a tongue twister for me. And this is the colorway October Sky. All right. And now moving on, let's see. Oh, yes. So I'll go ahead and talk about my whips now. So as soon as I finished my husband's socks, I moved on to these socks for my son, my oldest son. He saw my husband's socks and he asked if he could have a pair of his own. So that is what I have going for him. Again, I'll have all of the information for this linked on my Ravelry page. I do have to update some things on my Ravelry page, but I'll have that up soon. This yarn was like Patron, I think it's called Patrons, I don't know. It's at Joann's. And it is wool and nylon. I don't remember the percentages, but I'll link that on my Ravelry as well. My gauge is a little bit tight. I should have gone up a needle size, but that's okay because my son's feet are a little bit too small for the amount of stitches I casted on. So these will probably actually fit him a little bit better. And let's see. Oh, so I wanted to talk about, while I'm talking about my whips, this is the next sock I plan to cast on. My friend is getting married next year, and I just thought these were really pretty. I wanted to give them to her as like obviously not to wear at her wedding, but like a wedding sock, because it just reminds me of like a winter wedding. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's very sparkly. It is 88% superwash merino, 8% lurex polyester, and then 4% nylon. It's very pretty. All right. And my other whip that I have, we already talked about the travel blanket. Oh, my temperature blanket. So I haven't done any work on that this week at all. I know in the last video I said I was going to try to work on it some. I haven't. I looked at how long I'd like to get it done by June 8th. I looked at how long I have, or how many days I have left until June 8th, and then how many days I have left in my blanket. And I figured out if I do 2 rows per day, I will have it done by April 21st. That doesn't include the border. So really it'll be more like April 24th because I forgot about the 2 that go in between each, or April 27th, because I forgot about the 2 rows that go in between each month. But anyway, so I can have that done by April. If I sit down, it takes me about 18 minutes per row. So if I sit down for like 40 minutes a day, just on that blanket, but then like there's things that I really want to work on, like socks. Now I'm wanting to make all of the socks. I've got so much sock yarn. Anyway, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But my other thing that I'm working on is my coziest memories. The only thing that I have done since the podcast last week is cast on the new color. This is a mess in here. Golly, I haven't opened this since I cast it on. And these are my ends that I haven't woven in yet, and they are all tangled with everything else. Okay. This is the new color that I have cast on. This is the Polka Dot Creek Blanket Club yarn for January. And I'm working with my favorite color from that January yarn right now. It kind of reminds me of like like cherry chocolate chip ice cream. It's a really pretty color. It's got little flecks of brown mixed in with all of the different colored pinks. It's very pretty. So I've got that cast on. Now I just have to actually work it. This is part of the reason why I'm just like not wanting to work on that temperature blanket, because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I stay home with my 2 boys. So I have a very limited amount of knitting and crocheting time throughout the week. And if I work on the things that I need to get done, I don't really get to work on the things that I want to work on, even though I want to get that blanket done. Once I have that blanket done, that is my last big thing. Last year, I had a couple of big things I was working on. This is my last big thing. I have other big things that I've planned for other times, but this is the last thing that I need to get done for this year. And if I would just get it done, then I won't have to worry about it anymore, and I'll be able to work on whatever I want to work on. Okay. And I think that is it for whips. Now I'm going to talk about my goals for this week coming up. So I've got all of this yarn for my travel blanket. I would really like to finish 1 square a day for my travel blanket. I did not time myself last night. I made some of the squares last night. I did not time myself, but I think it takes me about 20 minutes to make a square. So I'd like to make 1 square per day so that I can get caught up. I only have to make 3 squares from each yarn, and then all of the leftover yarn I can use for whatever. My best friend just asked me if I could make a funky baby blanket for her. She doesn't have a baby yet, but she said in the future when she has one, she wants to give me some heads up so I can use like leftover yarns and things that I have. So maybe I'll work some of this into a blanket for her. This is what's left over from, oh wait, no, I still have a square to make out of this tan yarn. But this is what's left over from making the green squares. So I still have quite a bit of yarn left. This was a 100-gram skein. I don't know how many grams it is now, but I didn't even use half of it. Oh, I forgot to show you. This is what I have left from my sock. I have 14 grams left over from that sock set. And I did the large size. So I'm pretty excited that I have some leftovers from that. Okay. Sorry, this is kind of all over the place. I sit down and do my podcast while my boys nap. And so, I just have a lot going around in my brain right now this week. Let's see. Oh, so I talked about last week that I wanted to do a muscle burr, I think it's called muscle burr hat for my husband I wanted to get that done last week. That didn't happen. The socks took me a lot longer than I thought they were going to. And it took up a lot more of my attention than I thought it was going to, because once I started knitting on them, I had a really hard time putting them down. And then as soon as I put them down, I wanted to get right back to them again. I don't know if I want to make the muscle burr hat or not. I've been finding a few different patterns that I like. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. This is the yarn I will be using for it. I've already shown this. I probably showed it last week. It is from Hartley's Hand Dyes in Cosby, Tennessee. This is 100% superwash merino. It is a DK weight. I don't see a name. I don't think it has a name. But I really like it a lot. It's very soft. And I just don't know what hat I'm going to make. I know I talked a while ago about how I found a hat that I liked because I didn't have to. My husband has like very specific things that he likes in a hat. And I found a pattern that would work for it, but it actually doesn't. I don't remember why it didn't work, but it doesn't. Anyway, and then finishing the socks for my oldest son. Those are the only things. Figuring out a hat, working on those 1 square per day, 2 rows per day on my temperature blanket, and then figuring out the hat, working on my son's socks. That's all I have for this week that I want to finish. Okay, and now I get to talk about some of the fun new yarns that I've purchased. I meant to grab the candle down. I'll put a little video in at the end of the candle that I got from Chelsea Yarns. So I did the Chelsea Yarns Valentine's Day box, and it was cuter than I could have even imagined. It is so cute. I have no idea what I'm gonna make with it. I'm thinking about getting a large skein of fingering weight yarn, and then getting a mohair to hold double with it and making the Korean poncho. I've been wanting to make that poncho. I haven't known what to make it with, but I might get a coordinating color and then use it as a main color and then I hit my camera, and then do a Korean poncho. But I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. So I'm going to show you the colors that I got from that. Let's see. Whoops, I dropped one. So this is kind of like a peachy with like a burnt orangish red color in it. It's a corally with some browns and a couple of specks of pink. And then let's see, this is a light pink with some more browns. I've really been liking browns and pinks together and oranges and pinks together lately. So this box was pretty perfect. I've got like this kind of grayish purple color. Little specks of purple and pink and brown and yellow. This color goes really well with it. And then I've got two more like speckly, different colored yarns. Another one. And then 3 solid colors. So I have a solid red, solid like fuchsia color, maybe, and then a solid hot pink. I also ordered a yarn from 3 by the Seas Designs from their Valentine's Day collection. That should be here tomorrow. And then last night, oh gosh, I just had a brain fart. Last night I ordered another mystery yarn box. It's called, oh, what is the name of the yarn dyer? Why can I not remember it? I'll put it in the bio down below. It's the Afternoon Tea Party box yarn. I believe it's her birthday. She dyes a yarn for her birthday and it's her birthday box. All right, anyway, that is all I had to talk about today. I talked about my finished objects, my whips, my new yarn that's coming in. I think that's all I had to talk about today. I also bought blockers on Knit Picks for the socks. It's their adjustable, it's called like Katrinkles maybe? I don't know. I'll post that down below too. It's their adjustable sock blocker. But anyway, that is all for this week. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week. Bye.